Academy Award-nominated actor, and beginning June 9th, you can see him and a Prairie Home companion. Please welcome Chicago's own John C. Reilly.
Yes, indeed.
Thank
What's
you for
up, Chicago.
They're a friendly bunch.
I know,
here.
as if they need the encouragement, right?
Now, first of all, I want to ask you something. You're from Chicago. You don't have a strong accent. I have to tell you that right now.
Yeah, they sort of beat it out of me in acting school, but but it's funny when I'm on the phone. Like, I'll be talking to some relatives from Chicago. My wife can always tell when I'm talking to someone from Chicago, so I'll slip into the accent, like, "Hey, Jan, what are you doing? You want to get some beers?" I don't know. Where's the car? You gonna meet a photographer? What are you doing?
She knows right away.
Yeah,
huh?
it's kind of a dead
you
giveaway.
liked growing. It's a good place to grow up. It seems like a very nurturing, friendly environment
Yeah,
here.
it's a great place to
I've
grow up.
heard. Here's the problem. I've heard, I never lived here in the winter, and I've had even people that love Chicago tell me that the winter is very difficult. How bad is it?
It's pretty bad. Is it bad?
Yeah.
It's like I remember spending winters here in Chicago and like thinking this is not a place for humans to habitate in the winter. Someone made a mistake when they put the settlement here. They must have settled it in the spring because you go outside and it's so cold your face stops moving first. Then the nose hairs freeze into little icicles. Then you just start muttering obscenities on your way to your car. It's like
You sound like me in the monologue there. Yeah.
It's like cold-induced Tourette's or something.
Now we have something in common. We're both from large Irish Catholic families. How many siblings in your family?
I have 5 siblings, so there were 6 of us kids. Yeah.
Right. That's the same with me. There's
3 brothers and 2 sisters.
Yeah, and everybody got along pretty much? Was there constant fighting? Because in my house, it was just constant beatings. Everyone beating each other. Sometimes the youngest beating the oldest, sometimes the oldest beating but a constant beating, a constant fight.
We had a long train of beatings that would happen. Like, my little brother would be watching TV, and I'd be like, he'd change the channel before the remotes. He'd change the channel, I'd be sitting back and go, "Turn that back on, I was watching that." "Shut up." "Don't you tell me to shut up."
Right.
And of course, I don't know, when I grew up, I realized people wear pajamas, but growing up, all we wore was underwear.
Right.
If we were inside the house...
Pajamas were a luxury.
Yeah. If we were inside, we were wearing BVDs and white T-shirts. That's what we lived in.
And you know what? Nothing looks less cool than fighting someone in BVDs.
Yeah.
Come on! And you've got like these tighty whities. It's just not cool.
With the shrapnel holes in the back.
Now, who was the worst? I don't even want to know about that. Who was the biggest? Okay, who would you say was there one of you who was like the worst juvenile delinquent of all of you?
Well, it's an ongoing competition, let's say. But,
right. Was there someone who just took the prize?
Well, I want to tell you a story about what one of my brothers did, and because of the statute of limitations, I don't want to say exactly which one it is, but you know who you are. Anyway, one of my older brothers, is really into pigs from an early age. Like this strange thing. He wanted a pig, he identified with them, I don't know what it was. Right. It was like that thing, like when you're an actor, like people, they know you're into acting, so they give you the happy, sad faces for presents all the time, or whatever it is.
Right.
It's related to acting. Well, with my brother, it was pigs, like a pig jigsaw puzzle, a pig mug, a pig thing. So he's really into him, and as he got older, it just never went away. He was always into it. And one night, after some liquid refreshment, he went out.
High C or something.
Yeah, he had a big, some high C with some gin in there. And he went out with some friends on this little adventure, and the next morning, I hear my mom's voice like, "Richie, what are you? And I hear Richie, no. And then I hear this from his bedroom. And I get up and I stumble in the hallway and I look in, and here he is passed out with his arm sticking out like this. And next to his bed is a makeshift pen with a piglet in it. A piglet with little white hooves scampering around, tiny.
Yeah.
And it turns out he hopped the fence into the farm and the zoo in Lincoln Park.
He stole the pig? He stole the pig at Lincoln Park? You can't do that.
So that night...
Right now, the police are headed for this theater.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I didn't say which one of us it was.
Yeah.
So he decided to act on his lifelong dream of owning a pig, and there it was, scurrying around this little makeshift pen next to his bed, and my mom's just sort of freaking out, and I go downstairs, I go to school that day, I come back, and it's already in the paper. Pig stolen from Lincoln Park Zoo. And, I was like 12 years old, so like, something about my family's in the paper, but they don't know, like, and then on the news that night, there was actually this reporter's like, there are many horrible people in the world. Car thieves, murderers, but none as bad as the pig napper. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm watching this as a 12-year-old kid like, the pig's upstairs! It's here! It's in my house!
Running around, yeah.
What do we do? And so my brother's plan was to keep the pig and raise it in our yard. I don't know, like... And my sister, who's really into animals, was like, you can't do that. You can't just... It's a baby pig. It needs... he's like, I'll give it some milk. I said, no. It needs pig's milk. It needs its mother's pig's milk. So he stuck it in his coat and walked into the zoo during the day.
What?
Yeah.
How do you have a pig in your coat?
Yeah.
I'm just going to come in here. I'm just going to come in for a second.
He had a special connection. Yeah. Well, when he gets up to the pig enclosure in the farm and the zoo, before he even takes it out, the mother pig and the other pigs say, ree, ree. Like that thing with the one of us. I just sensed it. So he took it out real fast and dropped it in like.
I never got caught. That's great.
And he never got credit for giving it back. So.
Yeah.
That's a mystery solved. The Chicago
good.
mystery solved.
Right now, people are retiring from the force now. We know about your brothers and sisters. But what about I don't know much about your folks. What did your dad do for a living?
Well, Daddy was a cop on the east side of Chicago. Back in the good old days, back in the USA. When a man named Al Capone tried to make this town his own, and he called his gang to war against the forces of the law. I heard my mama cry. I heard her pray the night Chicago died. Brother, what a night it really was. Brother, what a fight it really was. Glory be. I heard my mama cry. I heard her pray the night Chicago died. Brother, what a night the people saw. Brother, what a fight the people saw. Yes, indeed. Then there was no sound at all but the clock upon the wall. Then the door burst open wide, and my daddy stepped inside, and he kissed my mama's face, then he brushed her tears away the night Chicago died. The night Chicago died. Brother, what a night it really was. Brother, what a fight it really was. Glory be. The night Chicago, Reilly, John Mayer coming up. We'll be right back. The night Chicago.